Hi and hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. My name is Miri. I am reading for you today one chapter from the book The Path of Silence by Omraam Mikhaël Aïvanhov, and this is Prosveta Izvor collection, and I will read for you the chapter Revelations of a Starry Sky. Have you ever gazed at the night sky, watched the stars, dreamed away? Probably you have. I mean, I hope, because it's beautiful. I have, and this chapter tells me what it does, what magic lies in the night sky, and what there is more than just beautiful stars. If you want to have a listen into this book, just stay with me and enjoy. Words from within. Welcome to Omraam World. The Path of Silence. Omraam Mikhaël Aïvanhov. Izvor Collection. Prosveta. Chapter 13. The Revelations of a Starry Sky. Life in the modern world is organized in such a way that human beings are less and less in touch with nature. This is especially so in towns where it is often impossible even to see the sky, or, if it is still visible, nobody ever thinks to look at it. People are so preoccupied and under so much stress because of their material concerns that their eyes turn more and more towards the earth. To be sure, people can see the sun, but they don't look at it. And how many people ever take the time to look at the stars in the night sky? I know that the conditions of modern life are not particularly conducive to contemplating the stars, but still, it is something you should try to do whenever you have a chance, if only for a few minutes. In the silence of the night, imagine that you are leaving the earth and all its conflicts and tragedies behind you and becoming a citizen of the heavens. Meditate on the beauty of the stars and the magnificence of the beings that inhabit them. Little by little, as you rise mentally higher and higher, you will begin to feel lighter and feel freer, and above all, you will discover peace. A peace that gradually suffuses every cell of your being. Meditating on the wisdom that created all these worlds and the beings of which they are a reflection, you will sense that your soul is putting out a very subtle antenna which enable it to communicate with them. You will never forget such sublime moments for the rest of your life. Even after all these years, I still remember certain experiences I had when I was young in Bulgaria. In the summer, when the master Peter Dunov and the members of the Brotherhood camped in the Rila Mountains, I would sometimes climb up and spend the night at the top of Mount Musala. I would wrap myself up in several blankets and, stretching out on my back, I would gaze up at the starry sky and try to link myself to the cosmic forces and entities of which the stars are only the physical aspect. I could not understand all that they said to me, but I loved them. My whole soul glowed with the wonder of them while I lay and looked at them until, without realizing it, I finally fell asleep. Sometimes it would snow a little during the night, and I would wake up to find myself under a light covering of snow. But that never worried me. I was happy. Those were the years in which I discovered the extraordinary peace that floods one's being when one spends the night on a mountain. I found myself transported to regions in which I felt and understood that the only activity that really matters in life is to become one with the cosmic spirit that animates the universe. The slightest little thing in the everyday lives of human beings torments them and sets them at each other's throats. Their consciousness has such a narrow field of vision that they think there is nothing more important than their petty cares, ambitions, love affairs, and quarrels. They cannot see the immensity, the infinite reaches of the heavens over their heads, which, if only they would lift their eyes to it, would permit them to break the bonds that restrict them and breathe a purer air. Don't be like that. Don't deprive yourself of all the different opportunities that arise to lighten the burden of daily life. Reflecting on infinity and eternity, you will begin to feel that you are floating above all contingencies, that nothing can touch you anymore. Distress, sorrow, and bereavement no longer have the power to trouble you. For a new consciousness awakens within you and enables you to feel and judge things differently. The state of consciousness which is new to you is that of the initiates and great masters. Whatever happens to them, whether they are deprived of their rights, betrayed or injured, none of it really affects them. They are above it all. Unfortunately, most human beings cannot understand this. They are accustomed to stagnating on the lowest levels of thoughts and feelings, and it is this that makes them so weak. Not knowing how to disentangle themselves, they are perpetually victimized by the negative conditions that they themselves have allowed to take root in them. Believe me, it is important to learn to use all possible occasions to rise above such a terribly mediocre life. And the star-filled sky in the silence of the night is one such occasion which invites us to forget our earthly affairs for a few minutes and think of other worlds in which other more highly evolved creatures live in harmony and splendor. All the things we worry so much about mean nothing to them. They are too tiny, too insignificant. You will say, what? Are you saying that famine and mass murder and all the other cataclysms we experience are insignificant? But they're frightful. Yes, they are frightful, but in the eyes of cosmic intelligence, they are hardly worth mentioning. In the eyes of cosmic intelligence, the only events that matter are those that affect the soul and the spirit. When the sky is clear at night, therefore, get into the habit of gazing at the stars and drinking in the peace that flows so sweetly from a starry sky. Put yourself in touch with each star, and you will find that they respond and speak to you like living, intelligent souls. Try to pick out one with which you feel a special affinity and link yourself to it. Imagine that you go and talk to it, or that it comes and talks to you. The stars are very highly evolved souls. If you listen to them, you will find the solution to many of your problems and feel more peaceful and enlightened. All the great initiates learned by contemplating the night sky. When their souls were in communion with the stars, these powerhouses of inexhaustible forces, they received messages from them, which they then transmitted to men. We have to learn to read the stars as though we were learning to decipher a sacred scripture of which the stars are the letters. And this cannot be done all at once. It is only after a long time that we begin, little by little, to understand what they have revealed. In fact, even I am only now beginning to understand some of the things that the starry skies whispered to me in the silence of the night. My soul received and recorded those messages, and they have been stored safely away ever since. When I watched the twinkling of the stars sending signals of light through space to each other, it seemed to me, too, that they were at war with each other, but a war of light and love. And now I know that war will always exist in the universe, for the principle of Mars will always be there. That is the need to compete, the need to prove oneself stronger than others. But the nature of war and its manifestations will be different. Weapons of death and destruction will be replaced by weapons that shoot rays of light and love. This is what the stars taught me, that it is possible to fight a war of love and light. Well, that was it from me. I hope you liked this read, and if you would like to have more of this, just subscribe to this channel, and I'm glad to see you again. Bye!